before we get to the end of the show, little rant here before we end the show.
Oh, we're back
here.
to superhero movies once
We're
again.
back to superhero movies. Because look, it was announced, reported, however you want to label it, that Taika Waititi is preparing for Thor 5. He has some ideas, Brendan. Some ideas.
I don't care.
I hope the idea he has is to hand off the character to someone else, because I think I'm done with Taika Waititi and Thor. I haven't particularly loved his movies. I know a lot of people really liked Ragnarok, and I liked it. I did not love it to the degree that a lot of other people do.
That is the one Marvel movie. I mean, not the one, but I think the one that is most emblematic of what I'm about to say here. I like that one so much less as time goes on.
Yeah, I do not love. I think there's elements that are still very good.
Sure.
I love the introduction of Korg. We can keep Korg. That's fine. He can stay on as Korg.
I think Taika Waititi made these movies because he simply wanted to be in one. That's what it feels
Maybe
like.
that's what it was. And look, I understand the energy he brings to these movies, and given where Thor was at the time, Ragnarok reinvigorated the character for Chris Hemsworth, which he's stated several times that's what he needed for that character. I think the irony in that is what the character becomes in Infinity War and Endgame, which is not the Taika Waititi aesthetic or that energy.
Right.
And I think that Thor, and it is not close for me. Let me be crystal clear on this, and some of you may disagree. That's perfectly fine. But for me, it is not even close. Thor is the best character in Infinity War and Endgame. His arc
I'm kind of with you on there.
Incredible. It is so good. I love how emotionally enthralling it is, but also very funny and biting. That balance, I think, is honestly a miracle. I don't know how he pulled it off. It's Hemsworth being at his very best, but some of the best I think about the best moments of those two films. And when you say the word Infinity War, when you say the word Endgame, the first things that come to mind for me are when Thor has this emotional breakdown with Rocket and Infinity War, and then when he lands in Wakanda with that hammer. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Or in Endgame when he has to talk to his mother, and how emotional and funny that is at the same time.
Yeah, great balance.
Like it's incredible the arc that he goes through. And also I think Kenneth Branagh's original Thor film is severely underrated.
Well,
I think it's the best individual Thor film.
I saw this on Twitter. I think it was our friend Griffin Schiller who said
Griff was talking about it.
Yeah, he said who should direct Thor 5? It just had a picture of Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, I agree with him.
That'll get me excited because I'm with you. That
agree.
is this might
He's
be
not wrong.
This might be hot takey. I hate that it sounds this way, but it's just how I feel. My ranking of the 4 Thor movies is release order.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Wholeheartedly, I'm with you.
I think I don't love the Dark World, but I don't think it's that bad.
I think I like it better than the Waititi films, for sure. At the very least, Ragnarok and the Dark World are probably tied for me at worst.
Yeah,
but
I think Ragnarok has more. It has better highs, but also way worse lows for me.
Yeah, and that's very fair. And look, there's stuff in the Dark World that I actually do like. Like again, the stuff with his mother, I think is great, especially because of how the MCU uses it later on. And I actually really like Brian Tyler's score. And that's another thing with the first Thor film. Not only is Branagh's Shakespearean background really appropriate for that film, and it comes through vividly, but Patrick Doyle's score is incredibly, severely, criminally underrated.
Yeah,
it is so good. And I think the performances are great. Like there's a reason we came to love Loki. It's established early on, and even Hemsworth I think is very good in that movie. So yeah, I really like the best iteration of Thor we've seen have been in the hands of Branagh and then in Infinity War and Endgame. It has not been with Taika Waititi.
Right.
And, Waititi's films have been fun at times, but they've been mostly hollow.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to move on to Kenneth Branagh coming back, as Griffin was talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or whoever. But I want to see that. I want to see the Infinity War Endgame Thor come back. Like, that's the character I want to see. And look, there was someone on our Facebook group page that was arguing like they should have just ended the character after Endgame. And I don't disagree necessarily with that, especially with Cap leaving and Iron Man obviously being gone. If you wanted to end Thor there, that's fine. He does have a rich history in the comics that they clearly wanted to do more of because they were going to get more cosmic with this next phase of Marvel. And so I understand why they wanted to keep him.
Yeah.
And I just don't think Taika is the guy.
I think he's exhausted his efforts, or at least exhausted my interest in his efforts with the MCU.
I agree.
Unless Korg is there.
Korg can stay.
Korg can stay.
Korg.
Yeah.
Love Korg. He can stay. That's perfectly fine. But I'm done with Taika. And I want him to go back.
And I say this as someone that's actually kind of interested in his new film, Next Goal Wins, coming out this year.
I was gonna say like I'm really interested in that. I want Taika to do like his smaller work again. Like
I want to see Hunt for the Wilder People.
Exactly. Yeah. I want to see that Taika again. Like when he's working in that realm, fantastic. Absolutely terrific. Just haven't loved this Marvel stuff. But I love Thor. Like he's actually become one of my very favorite characters in the MCU.
Sure.
And Hemsworth is committed to the role. Like I love his performance as Thor too. So it's disappointing when this is the direction we're heading with the character. At any rate, that's my rant. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you on that rant, man. I'm with you.